Hello students, good morning all. Before going to start our DBMS subject, let me introduce myself. I'm Dr. G.J. Sanadio, recently joined in our department. I have more than 10 years of experience in teaching industry. Previously, I worked in Tirumala Engineering College and Metropolitan Engineering College. I hope you people surely understand about our subject 100% without any disturbances. I have a simple question before starting our subject. That is, why DBMS subject? Till now, we studied C, CPP, Python, Java, so on. Now, we have another core subject called DBMS. So, before introducing our DBMS subject, if you know, if you write C language, Java language, CPP language, the coding will be almost 10 to 100 lines, right? Okay, but the DBMS will not contain 10 to 100 lines. It will only contains 2 lines of code. Okay, if you know the English language, automatically you can write code. If you don't know how to write coding, just move to database field. Do you know we have only 4 important core subjects? Even though we study 48 subjects, we have only 4 subjects called Java, networks, database, and finally, recently we used Python. Okay, but in Java we have 2 or 3 tools to develop any application. And networks, we have only 1 or 2 tools for developing an application or connecting devices. Whereas in DBMS, we have almost on 32 tools. Are you understanding? 32 tools. So if you move to any one of the two, nowadays there will more opportunities in software industry. Okay, see, if you want to learn data warehouse, if you want to learn big data, if you want to learn machine learning, minimum basic subject is DBMS. Okay, before starting our subject, I have some terminologies to put up your DBMS. Okay, right. See, we have various terminologies called data, information, database, and database management system. Okay, see, we are familiar with the social websites like Facebook and Instagram, e-commerce websites like Amazon and Snapdeal, banking websites like SBI and HDFS, and finally education website like eCaps. Okay, all these websites have huge amount of data stored in it, right? So what is a data? Before starting about before starting DBMS, basic knowledge about data. See, a data is any sort of information which is stored in computer memory. So this information can later be used for a website, an application, or any other client to store for future purpose. See, let's consider a Facebook. It stores our personal data, images, posts, comments, and many more things. Similarly, banking application also stores user data, their transaction details, funds, and summary, etc. So all these information is data, but when it put together and stored in a structural way, it becomes information data. See, here we discussed about data. Here we discussed about information. See, before going to discuss information, what is information? So this information is data that have been processed to make them meaningful and useful. So data plus meaning is equals to information. So I will ask a simple question that do you know Jendu bomb? Do you know move? Okay. Jendu bomb is nothing but if you have a pain, we can apply in any area. Okay. If you have any headache, you can apply Jendu bomb. If you have any leg pain, you apply Jendu bomb. So this is a raw material. We can apply anywhere else called as data. If you take move, we can say that move is used for if you have any abdominal problems or any back pains, then automatically we use move. We are giving information. We are giving 100% clarity about what is a raw data. Okay. So data is nothing but a raw material and information is nothing but a useful information from the raw material. Okay. Okay. Right. Simple. Another way to add meaning is to process the data. Okay. See, for an example, individual exam marks are raw data, but if you were to process those to say that the average mark for the class was 53%, or that boys did better than girls, or that 76% of the students in the school got a grade A or B, then that is called information. See, your marks is a raw data and aggregate is summarizing your data is information. Okay, next. So how do these applications or websites get data? Okay, when you post a status on Facebook, perform a banking transaction online, or upload a selfie on Instagram, you are actually sending data to the site or their server. So we can say any information transmitted or transferred is actually data. C, server filter out the necessary data and stores it in, called as database. Clear? Right. How do these applications and so what is a database? A database is an electronic system that allows data to be stored, easily accessed, manipulated, and updated. Okay. So the definition for database is it is an electronic system which allows data to store, access, manipulated, and updated. Simply, we can take an example called as telephone directory. In that, actually, the data contains name of the people arranged in order of their last names. And searching like it's really easy if I ask you to search for Sita, Geeta, Nandu according to the last name. But here an issue, that is, if I ask you to search for every contact with the first name called Martin, then the issue here is names are sorted according to the last names and searching for the first name is a complex task. So this is an example for what we call database, and this is a structured database. So a database is made up of two components, mainly data and a meaningful method for accessing manipulating data. So this is a data and this is we are maintaining or manipulating accessing of our data. Without these two, a database is just a random set of data. Okay, right. So we discussed this problem, right? If we want to search a name with first name, but the data is stored in what we call last names. So we use an important concept called as key value pairs. So the key value pair is a what we call this one accessing, a method called accessing method which can access very meaningfully, right? So in the above example, we say that this is a Martin example. If you want to search a Martin, right? I am storing the Martin with key comma value pair. So the key is, see, this is a key called MAR, and value is our data called MAR2. So database are mostly made up of tables which contains rows and columns like two-dimensional. So it needs to be hosted or created on some special database platform like MySQL, Oracle, and Microsoft Access, right? Right. So this is the structure of what we call database, which is nothing but in the table format. We called as columns called as attributes and rows called as tuples. So we know that when we use any software like an app, data is either added into the database, updated according to the action by performing some action. But the computer must have something to perform such action, right? So what is the action to perform in database is a database management system. Simple. Understand? If an action, if I ask you, if we are coming to the class after lockdown, right? If I ask you a question that, how many of you are familiar with DBMS? Okay, then automatically all persons will, or all the students will simply sit at it. Is it right? Right? Okay. If I ask roll number 541, come and explain DBMS. I don't know who is 541. If I ask, come and write what is DBMS. This is action. Now you take a chalkboard and automatically writes what is DBMS. So the action, what I am saying, okay? So what I am saying is nothing but database. The action is nothing but DBMS, okay? A software which can perform the various operations on database is known as database management system, okay? So this is the, what is database management system means. A database management system is a software used to perform different operations like addition, access, updating, and deletion of the data, like adding your name in the database for an online retail store as a customer. So it acts as a backbone to the database. So there is a simple difference between a database and DBMS. Okay, this is, see, before start this topic, I will go to this slide. See, this is a DBMS. This is an user. This is a database. If there is no database here, user knows Telugu language. Database knows English language. User communicating with his language to database, but database will not understand the Telugu language. Now DBMS will act as a translator. Understand? He acts as a translator. Simple. Now the user gives the request to DBMS, and DBMS will convert the request to database. Now database give information to DBMS, and this information will present to the user. Have you understand? Because we are saying here data, the user to DBMS is a data. DBMS to database is also a data. But whenever the database is giving anything to DBMS, we are saying that information. Okay, this is information, and this is DBMS is giving to user is also a information. Okay, so without DBMS, the way of communication is nothing. Especially when you communicate with database. Okay, if there is a DBMS, then it is a software which can access the information, or which can access the data from the user and fetch from the database and retrieve the database and present to the user. Okay, so this is the various terminologies that we will discuss till now. These are not in our subject. Okay, we will not start our subject. This is a basic information about what is what we are discussing. But this is our first topic called what is database system. So a database system is basically what we discussed, a computerized record keeping system for storing and retrieving. If there is any updation, automatically the updation will be happen, right? Right. For dealing with database system, we have four important components. The four important components are data, hardware, software, and users. Okay. So this is a DBS called as database system, which includes DB called as database and DBMS what we discussed called as software and applications. The combination of these can be applicable with hardware and software, and the various users who can interact with the DBMA is called users and database administrators called as DBA. So a database system involves four important concepts called data, hardware, software, and users. First one, what is a data? Already we discussed, but here we just give a simple uh, information about the data in the database. As a large system will be both integrated and shared. Okay, integrated and shared. What do you mean by integration? So as previously I discussed, previously I told that if you know English language, automatically the DBMS will be 100% understandable to you. Okay, sharing and integration. Integration means combining. Sharing means taking one resource and maintaining that resource. Okay, right. If you take integration, we have some problem called as there will be some duplication data. Like this is employee table. We will discuss the table, right? This is a called employee table. The fields called as names, address, department, salary. This is what we discussed here. This is a table. This is a table. So this is a table. This table name consists of employee. The attributes what we discussed here, it is name, address, department, salary. The values are what we discuss, our name. For example, name, my address, my department, myself. Okay, right. Here the integration is nothing but in employee we have another important concept called as department. Okay, this department consists of again some similar name, course, so on things. But this is an integration, and based on integration we sharing the table called as employee. Okay, I hope you understand. Second one is hardware. As we know that the hardware components of the system consist of secondary storage volumes, device controllers, channels, and so on. So the hardware processes and associated main memory. Okay. And third one is a software. So all requests for access to the database are handled by DBMS. One general function provided by the DBMS is its shielding of databases users from hardware level details. Like this is the called as user will give its instruction to DBMS, and DBMS fetches the data or retrieves data by means of application called as OS and gives to the users. Okay, and finally we have users called as, we have various users called as application programmers, end users, and DBA, what we discussed. Okay? Application programmers are responsible for writing database application programs in some programming languages, whereas end users interact with the system from online workstations or terminals. So before going to differentiate these two users, if I am a person going to ATM, okay, and drawing or operating that ATM, right? I am not a application user because I don't know how the application are running or run by the particular ATM. Just I know inserting a chip and implementing my details and giving my details and taking money. So I am an end user. Without knowing the complete knowledge of particular application, I can say that I am an end user. If a programmer who writes that particular ATM application is called as application programmer. Okay, and finally, the from end user to application programmer, there is a path. The path will be connected by the DBA. See, this is database administrator. That is nothing but a path. This is a path. This is a path. This is a path. This is a path. These three are path. Okay. User gives its instruction to DBMS. Now here there will be a DBA called as database administrator. Will take the data and gives information to database. So all the path will be maintained by which one called as database administrator, right? I hope you understand. So this is a database system which consists of data, software, users, and hardware. So this is a hardware, right? This is important. We can simply say that why database is important. What is it? Actually, a database is just a well-structured collection of data, what we discussed, right? Where data can be easily stored and retrieved. But why it is useful means here, when we process the data, we get information. That is here. The data becomes information. When information process, it will get what we call knowledge. And after knowledge, we will get called wisdom. Okay. This is the important concept called as data, information, knowledge, and wisdom. So I hope you understand the first topic called database, what we call database system. It consists of 4 components called data, hardware, software, and users. Data consists of the raw material and it should be integrated and shared, like this example. And hardware consists of connecting peripheral devices to retrieve data from user to database. And third one is software, which is an application which can run by users called as DB. Okay, I hope you understand the first concept. Thank you one and all. We discuss remaining topics from next session. This is the first session. I hope you understand whatever we discussed till 4 topics. Okay, right. Let's see the origin of DBMS, right? We have starting from 1960s, Charles Bachman designed first DBMS system. Later in 1970, Code is the man first introduced this architecture. Okay, Code introduced information management system called IMS. Based on that, 1970s, Peter Chen designed ER model, that is entity relationship model. This is the first model and we will discuss this relation model in second unit. Okay, next, after introducing this ER model, based on ER model, we designed relational model called as now DBMS, right? In 1980s, relational model become very widely accepted database component. After that, in 1985, based on relational model, we enter into object-oriented model called as Java Norat. After that, we introduce a object-oriented DBMS approach. Based on this object-oriented approach, in 1990s, we put up the DBMS into object-oriented. That is nothing but incorporation of object-oriented in relational DBMS. After completion of 1990s, in mid 19 to 2000, we introduced first database applications. Okay, this is the first internet database application. After put up in this object oriented in relational database management system, we use personal DBMS products. After that, it introduced in by means of a networks, okay, called as internet, right, in 1995. Right. See, as an example of a DBMS, let's see in a real world scenario, we have a simple example called as university database. This database is maintaining information about students, courses, and grades in a university environment. So the database consists of 5 files. Okay, we will discuss these files in next session. First, the student file stores data of each student. Okay, you know that if I am a mentor to you, I ask you your personal data. That is nothing but are you from 10th class, intermediate, and BTech, your aggregate. Okay, all these belongs to, I will put in a file called as student file. Next, course file, which consists of data, contain data on each course, either 2-1 or 3-1 or 4-1. Next, this third one is section, which stores the information about sections in a particular course. That is nothing but either A section course data, B section course data, or C section course data, right? And finally, grade file stores the grades which students receive in the various sections. Okay, and finally, faculty file, which contains information about each and every faculty. Okay, so in university database we have various files to store our data. Student consists of his personal information, course file consists of its personal information like branches, section has its particular data, grade has each and every student data, faculty has each and every their profile information, right? So to define a database system, first we need to structure the records. These records we will discuss next class. Okay, next session. Okay, we structure the records of each file by defining different types of data elements to be stored in each record. We can also use a coding scheme to represent the values of data item. So see, this is first, to define a database system, we have to structure the record. After that, we have to place our data in a record. Okay, first step is to create the structure, second one is to insert the data, and final one is we will update all the data, which consists of 5 tables. Minimum we represent 5 tables. For you people, we will create 2 or 3 or 4 tables which represent all these keys. We will discuss later. Okay, and where we use this DBMS. Okay, already we discussed now in university database. Similarly, the applications of DBMS can be, we can say that in the real world, we are using, nowadays, we are using the DBMS in any area like banking sectors, airlines, universities, telecommunication, finance, sales, HR management, and manufacturing. If in banking sector, the DBMS will use according for customer information, account activities, payments, deposits, loans, etc. If it is airlines, for reservations of uh, uh, reservation of the particular customer and the scheduling of flights. Okay, next, universities, previously we discussed for telecommunication, it helps to keep call records, monthly bills, maintaining balancing, etc. Finance, for storing information about stock, sales, and purchases of financial instruments like stocks and bonds, and sales. If it is a sales sector, it is used for storing customer product and sales information. If it is a HR, for information about employees, salaries, payroll deduction, generation of paychecks. So these all are comes under the applications of DBMS. Okay. So this session we discussed about all these called as database, DBMS, database structure. Next, why it is useful, and where the origin of DBMS, and examples, and finally applications. So I hope you understand the first session, right? Thank you.